let me talk to you about what I think is the biggest mistake people make when they're marbling, and that is they stop too soon. Let me show you an example. I'm going to make this into a ball. This is going to be a giant bead. Let's take a look. Right now it's not all that pretty or interesting, but I just want you to see the process. I'm going to squish it for the pasta machine. Run it through again. Now we're starting to get a slightly more interesting marble. That's really pretty, as a matter of fact. Take a look. It's really pretty what the clay can do with the marbling. You'll really have fun looking at it. Look at the other side, how it's very different. While we're doing this, I can see I have some air bubbles in here, and so I want to talk about air bubbles, take advantage of the opportunity to show you what to do with them. Air bubbles can cause problems if you want a smooth surface. Can you see this little bubble in here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my tissue blade, slice into that, and then just smooth it, and I'm smoothing out the air. I can see another bubble here, air bubble. Here, let me put this down so I can control it better. I'm going to slice into that bubble, smooth it. Here's another bubble. I'm slicing into it, smoothing it. So I'm getting rid of those bubbles. Let's see what this looks like as a bead, a big bead. Smush it up. Roll it. Now it's starting to get, I think, quite beautiful. You can see. I'll let you see all over. But what I find is often people will stop at this point. They'll say, oh, I love that marble mix. It's just beautiful. And they'll stop. And they're losing the opportunity to get an even more subtle blend that's much more interesting and fun to look at. Now, I also want to talk about making the decision when to keep rolling it through, when to stop, as far as what are you doing with your bead. If you want a focal bead that's all about the marbling, you'll want a more kind of in-your-face marble. But let's say you're going to be doing some further embellishments, and we'll talk about some of those. Then you want a more subtle marble. You're going to run it through more. So let's, just for fun, we're going to do it again. I'm going to cut this into 4. So you can get a few looks at some other things. I want to show you, look how different it looks when I cut into it. That's one of those things that the marble, as it's, when you cut with the tissue blade, you're cutting through the slab, and so you get a different effect. Just want you to see that, because that's something you might want to capture and do something with that. So let's take this guy, let's squish him up, run him through. Look, we're getting even a more subtle blending. Roll it into a ball so you can see what we get. And once again, see how this is starting to get so much more subtle and really much more beautiful.